Hey there, so this is the start of this short 5-part series to help you stay in balance. And I wanted to start and kick off this series with mobility and myofascial release. I have been practicing myofascial release for a really long time and have found its benefits to be so powerful and potent that it's something that I've been wanting to share with the world. And I'm grateful for my teacher, Gretchen Corbin, who kind of got me on this path after an injury and just seeing the results from it. So first off, why myofascial release? What do we use? How do we do it? So myofascial release is a technique of self-massage, and you can use all sorts of things. You can use therapy balls, you can use blocks, you can even use blankets and things like that to help create this release in your fascial system. So our fascia is what holds us together. It's the thing that keeps us upright, and it organizes and directs fluids within the body. It's essential to our health and feeling good. It's essential for our range of motion. And when our fascia gets stuck, it's like you're skiing and all of a sudden you hit this snow patch and your ski gets stuck and you can't move, you can't glide. And we want our fascial layers to be able to glide to create good range of motion. And what happens is when we're dehydrated in an area, we're not getting blood flow, we're not getting the proteins that are necessary to reach that area, we end up losing the hydration and the tissues start to stick, just like that ski analogy. So when we roll on our tissues, we are searching for areas that feel sensitive in order to help alleviate that compression that happens from the layers of the tissues kind of sticking together. So we are going to practice some of the sticky spots that I really enjoy that help release and make me feel good. We'll kind of do like a whole body approach here, getting into shoulders, hips, and legs. So I like to use the Yoga Tune-Up therapy balls, and I just like the density of them, and I think that it's nice that you can have them either tight together or separate. And then we'll also use a yoga block for our practice today. And if you don't have a yoga block, maybe get a stack of books or something like that. You'll see what we need that for. You can also use a pillow for part of it in exchange for the block. But we're going to get started. So first, just closing your eyes and tuning into this beautiful scaffolding you have, this fascial system. It's our largest organ, the sensory system. And it does that. It just senses where we are in space, and it helps us move through the world. And sometimes we can feel stuck. So this is an opportunity to get unstuck. Maybe to unlearn some old patterns of movement or even thinking or how we store emotion. And to remember the freedom that comes from taking care of ourselves. And just taking a nice deep breath in and a clearing breath out. You can slowly open the eyes. We're going to grab those therapy balls. So from here, we're going to move down into the lower shin ankle region. So you can take one of the therapy balls out of the tote, and you're going to go about 4 fingers width above your outer ankle bone, and you're going to place the ball there, and you can either sit how I am or whatever's comfortable for you, so that way you can start to press and roll into this area, just finding a little bit of gentle massage here, going up that outer ankle, and then you can often also go around that outer ankle as well. So just using that manipulation there. So we're just finding some gentle movement, and then the moment you notice something that feels sensational, just stay there and breathe, and maybe lean into it if that feels good. We are seeking a 7 or 8 out of 10 on the sensation scale, so not going above that, not sharp, shooting, electrifying. We don't want anything like that. You could point and flex your foot here in that sticky spot. And you can start to even go a little higher, rolling up a little higher. You can either try to move your body, or you can just manually move the ball, coming into that outer calf, and feeling this nice little sweeping through here. And the moment you find a sweet spot, just stay there, breathe. Maybe lean in, maybe back out. Just recognize what's in this space and what you're holding, and see what you're willing to let go of. And then from here you can remove, and we're just going to go about 4 fingers above your inner ankle now. So about 4 fingers above your inner ankle. And we're going to bring the ball there. And you'll use your hand to roll the ball around that spot. You can start to roll up and down your leg, even up and into the calf, and even down by that lower malleolus, that lower inner ankle bone. And making sure you go up. And you can stay in the thick part of your gastrocnemius, that calf muscle, or you could trace anterior tibialis. You can trace these shin muscles that are here. And just getting that blood flow, that circulation, that hydration into your body. The calves and inner and outer shins often get neglected, and they have to hold us up all day long. They receive a lot of, even if you're sitting, mostly for work, there's a lot of blood flow, lymph, and synovial fluid that gets stuck down the lower leg. It takes a lot longer to get back up to the heart, right? So just helping that circulation right in that area. So making sure you get a nice good sweep, that whole inner lower leg. And then you can release that. We're going to stay on that same leg. And we'll go about 4 fingers above your knee and onto your thigh. And you can place your therapy ball there. If that's too much sensation and too pinpointed, you can always take your other therapy ball out and make a little stack here so that there's 2 of them, so that will distribute some of the weight. And we're just going to lean in and out. And today my outer quadricep, that outer quad, is feeling pretty tight, so I'm just going to stay with those 2 therapy balls there. But once again, you can always remove it. Listen to your body. What do you need today? You could always add more weight by stacking your other leg on top as you lean in and out. For me today, it's just a little too much. So I'm just leaning in and out, just trying to get some awareness and hydration into this outer seam that connects the quadricep and your outer iliotibial tract, this really important sheathing that helps support the upper thigh and the muscles that are in it. And then from here, you could lift that top leg if you're using it to add weight. And you're just going to start to lift the heel to get the therapy balls to roll, so that they're rolling now across the quad and a little bit more into the side there. And so I'm just lifting my heel up and rocking it back so I can rock those therapy balls over my thigh. And we're going to release that now. And we're going to work up into the shoulder now. So you'll want to block for this next one. We're going to come into subscapularis, which is a muscle that's actually in front of your shoulder blade, which might sound impossible to get to, but it is possible. So you could lift your arm and take your thumb, and you're going to use your thumb to press into your armpit. And you're going to try to move your arm out wide so that you can really dig in there to find your shoulder blade, the front of the shoulder blade, that side that's connected towards the ribs. And you're going to aim for that. So we do want to move out of the lat, that's that wider muscle, and actually go towards the center of the armpit and then out and back a little bit. And so just depending on how much muscle tone or how the structure of your body is built, you might really have to push in there. But that's why we have this block. So what we'll do is we're going to aim to get the therapy ball pushing into the front of the shoulder blade by bringing the therapy ball onto the block and resting our arm onto it. So I'm bending into that elbow, and then I'm going to let my rib cage sink and drop, and I'm going to add a little bit of rotation, heart down towards the ground. And so from here, this is going to be able to find that pressure. We're just going to work breath. So this can be really sensitive and is one of your rotator cuffs. So it's a part of the rotator cuff system, sorry. And so it's very deep. So we just want to take our time here as we allow that therapy ball to move into the space, to work our breath, to relax the tissue. So a lot of mobility actually comes from learning to relax certain tissues that are always contracted and to get some more hydration into those areas. You could just stay here for a couple more breaths, or maybe you want to try to move your arm, just kind of windshield wipering that arm. And then from here, we're going to just gently press up, and we're going to lift up and off, and we're going to move now to the back of the shoulder blade. So now if we were into the armpit before, now we're going to come back behind, and this time you can just use your block as a pillow. So what I'll do is I'll lay on my side, I'll lift my arm and place the therapy ball there, and then bring my head down. And we're getting now into teres minor, major, and even into that infraspinatus. And so just breathing here and noticing how that feels, that sensation. I'm just trying to relax, noticing resistance. And maybe that's resisting in your jaw, maybe you're clenching your teeth, or maybe you're gripping your fist. Just try to relax. Closing eyes, finding breath. And then maybe you want to bend into your elbow and just kind of wipe that elbow. I'm just going nice and slowly to feel that gentle pressure in around that shoulder. I've been sleeping on this side of my body, and I can definitely tell that it's sore. Holding for so long there. So we'll just take one more. And then you can press yourself up. And we're going to bring the therapy ball, or you could stay down if you want, just to the upper forearm, so where the elbow is. So you can continue to lay with your head on the block. You're going to place the ball down, and then your forearm on top, and you can just start to find little movement there, just rolling into the forearm. And you can even drag it all the way up towards the wrist. We can release that. And we'll make our way onto our back. You could keep the block or the pillow underneath your head. And we're going to press into the feet and lift the hips, and just placing the therapy ball right in the center of your glute, so right in the center of the buttock there, and just letting that rest, just breathing into that, and then slowly dropping that knee out to the side as your other hip sweeps up a little, and then drawing knee back towards ceiling. as I'm dropping the knee, I'm dragging the therapy ball for the outer hip so I can really roll out the piriformis and the glute here, getting into those external rotators. So just moving alongside here, sweeping as fast or as slow as you'd like. If you do find a spot that feels good, just stay there, breathe there, take a moment there. So I'm going to stay with the ball out by the outer hip right now, that connection of where the femur bone comes in at that right ankle into the hip. And then from here you can slowly come on back, lift up, and we'll press down through the elbows to come up, using a little bit of our strength. And we'll take that sequence over to the other side. So whatever side you haven't worked on, that's where we're going. So from here, we're going to work that outer shingon, the fibularis muscles here. So finding about 4 fingers just above your ankle bone, and leaning in there, pressing, and finding some movement. Find some little circles. You could just lean in and out. You could roll. And then do start to roll up and down and forward and back. So just finding this release in this outer shin, holding you up, or just receiving all the drainage of the fluids, right? So that inflammation that happens from lack of movement as well, we help move the fluids that maybe are stagnant. If you've been sitting all day, or if you have an injury and you're not getting as much range of motion as you normally would. And so we're just enjoying this little roll out, even getting up and towards that calf. And down by the ankle too, don't forget. I'm going to go around that outer ankle, supporting that foot. Oh, feels so good. So naturally, myofascial release stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the side of you that tells you you can relax, you can rest, right? Because we're getting this hydration. So as we're rolling, you might feel that. You might feel these natural sighs come through, or just waves of ease start to come over, just the way you do when you get a hands-on massage. Okay, we're going to release that lower outer shin, and we're going to go 4 fingers on the inner shin, and pressing there, and spiraling there, and then rolling up through that inner shin, inner calf. You can get into the meat of the belly of the muscle. You can get up towards the bone. And just rolling along that inner shin, inner calf. This is going to help move some of the fluids in and around knees and help us move that fluids down the calf muscle, helping pump the lymph back up towards the heart space so that it can be restored, renewed. Okay, we're going to release this inner shin, and from here we're going to go 4 fingers above your knee and onto your thigh with either 1 or 2 therapy balls. You start to lay onto that side, and you can always start with 2 or 1 and see, oh, maybe this side could go more, so I'm going to remove 1 on the side. This side feels like there's a little bit more room here, and I'm just going to lean in and out, just applying that weight and backing off. Really simple, but pretty sensational. I'm just noticing, how does that outer quadricep feel as you kind of pluck it and plow into it? So we're getting into this vastus lateralis, this one of the 4 of the quadricep muscles. that supports this outer part of the body, that holding upright towards center. And then from here, you can lift your top leg if you were using it as a weight. And I'm just going to start that little heel roll. So let's see if I can get a better perspective for you. So I'm just kind of lifting that heel so that the ball starts to roll. And I'm keeping the weight in and onto that side so the ball doesn't roll completely out. But I'm just lifting and lowering that heel. Lifting and lowering. Just getting that nice movement across those layers. Just finding some breaths. And you can release that. And from here, we're going to come into that subscapularis now. So remember, this is your shoulder blade, your scapula. It's sub. It's like a submarine. It's underneath, right? So we'll use our thumb to push in, move the lat out of the way so that you can feel the front of your shoulder blade and start to press into there. And once you find it, we're going to use that ball to go into the hollow of the armpit. We're moving it diagonally back, and that's where we have that little rotation down to the ground. So let's find our way. Bringing that therapy ball into the hollow of the armpit and lowering down into that space. We add that little bit of rotation of the chest down so that it's just to plug the ball back and into your shoulder blade. And you can breathe here. Just noticing this little secret place that you've been storing stress, tension, and feeling grateful for this place in your body. And encouraging this place in your body to just open up and let go. If you want, you could add that little windshield wiper of your arm. So I'm just kind of moving my arm up and down there. Or maybe you just stay and breathe. And then we'll come off of that. We're going to just take the ball out from underneath the armpit. We're going to scoot the block back for our head. And we're going to come towards the back of the shoulder blade now. So I'm reaching here. So it's kind of right where that crease of the arm line is, and then back so that you're on your shoulder blade when you lay down. So maybe try to hold it there as you lower down. And then really reaching that arm over so you can lay and rest your arm down onto the ground. And we relax here, just breathing in and out. Getting into infraspinatus, into those teres major and minor. These nice deep muscles that, if it's sensational, that's okay. Just try to relax. Your body will eventually soften. That sensation is often dehydration, your body communicating to you, oh, this place is feeling this way, there's an adhesion, there's a sticky spot, there's a place that needs some love. You can stay here, you can start that windshield wipering of your arm nice and slow. Just breathe through it. And then you can reach around you, remove the ball, and we're going to place this right underneath the forearm. So you can keep that block underneath your head and start to roll through your forearm, just getting into the forearm muscles here. All the way up towards the back of the wrist. center and use leverage, just pressing into this radialis muscle. Nice. From here, we're going to flip on over onto our backs and moving down into that hip. So I'll show you beside you. We're going right into the center of the buttock there. So the ball will be right in the center. And we access that by pressing to the feet, lifting hips, placing the ball there. And then from here, just getting that weight, that awareness, and slowly you can start to drop your knee out to the side. And as you do, the other hip moves towards the ceiling, so that that ball can drag across the back of the thigh. And so feeling this nice slow dragging across towards that femur bone, that outer hip. And just taking your time, just working that way. You can always adjust like I just did there. Sometimes there's, like you feel it moved, it shifted, maybe there's another place that is just above or below where you originally placed that actually feels better. And you can always do that. If something's too sensational, you don't have to go directly into that point. You could go around it nearby. And so just enjoying this outer hip release. And then find a spot that feels really sticky and just sitting there, breathing there, letting maybe the leg drop so that you can add a little bit more weight. And connecting to your breath. When we reconnect to our bodies, we start to feel more empowered. We're able to be present. And slowly you can come up out of that. You're going to press on the feet, lift hips, remove the ball. And from here, we're going to make sure we have that block where the ridge line is right at the back of your head. You're going to just drop your chin down towards the ground. You can let your arms hang, you could let your legs extend, or you could knock your knees. And just finding some gentle little nods. Yes and no. I'm starting to find a little bit of that ease in and around the neck. And you could even turn your head all the way to one side. Little yeses and nos there. And then coming back through center and going to the other side. Nice. And then from here, just use one hand to grab the back of your head as the other moves the block. And lower it all down to the ground here. Just taking a little mini Shavasana, extending your legs nice and long, your arms nice and wide, just noticing the flow of blood and movement, of energy, getting out of that place of feeling stuck and moving more towards self. You can stay here as long as your timing allows. But I'd love to leave you with my gratitude and with my love. And thank you so much for finding more mobility with me today. May you continue your journey to be more open, just like in our bodies with this practice, not only in your body, but in your mind and in your heart space. Namaste.